In today's episode, we're going to talk about settling. And specifically, if you have heard the call for more, that you're meant for more, then I would urge you, don't settle for less. And I'm speaking from experience here, folks. If I go back in my life, I think about me as a kid and as a teenager through my 20s and my 30s, I'm a very different person today. Very, very different. And back then, as a kid, I was very fearful and I was super serious, super serious. I worked really hard at school. I didn't do that great. I was dyslexic, so still am dyslexic. And I really struggled, right? And I worked hard and I sort of gathered all these beliefs along the way. Number one, you have to work really, really hard to get anywhere. Even when I worked hard, I didn't really get anywhere, definitely not in the education system. And so, as a kid, I had all these big dreams. I saw myself. I was a successful businesswoman. And likely you as a kid or even teenager or wherever, you've probably too felt that nudge. Like you've likely have this big dream inside of you. Maybe you're already fulfilling it. Maybe you're already doing the thing that you want to do, that you feel fulfilled. You feel filled with joy and purpose because you're doing what you're meant to be doing on this planet. You're fulfilling your purpose. You're doing the thing. But what I would say to you is, if you're not doing the thing, and you have a sense that there is something more for you, then I would really encourage you, don't settle. Don't settle for less. Keep leaning in. You're being called. That nudge you're feeling, I would say that's the call of your spirit. It's the call of your soul telling you that there's another opportunity or another life or another way of being out there waiting for you to key up with it. But you have to start taking action to connect with it. And your spirit, because you are an eternal spiritual being, you'll always hear me talk about this. We are eternal spiritual beings. You are an eternal spiritual being. And it's that part of you, that infinite part of you, that has that sort of 30,000 foot view of what is possible for you, that knows that you come from infinite potential, that you can absolutely fulfill on those big goals and dreams. Mortal you will tell you, no, you can't do this. But infinite you is calling you, telling you to step up, step into it, do it. And so I just wanted to come on today's episode because it took me a long time. I was in my mid-30s when I actually realized this, no, don't settle. But I had to have like a big jolt. I was booted out of my being asleep, if you will. I woke up. I actually woke up to who I truly am and what I'm truly capable of. And it took a very challenging period in my life, separating from my first husband, living in Amsterdam. We'd only been there a matter of months and then we'd separated, and feeling so sorry for myself, like that I had everything taken from me, ripped away from me. But you know what? When you feel as though you've lost everything, you've got nothing to lose anymore. Like you're not worried about losing something because you feel like you've nothing to lose, and so you've everything to gain. And I think you just start to approach life in a whole new way. And I think it's very powerful if we can approach life in this way without having to have lost everything to get there, right? Like, a lot of people that you talk to that have had those major shifts and major turning points in their lives, oftentimes it's come from a very challenging situation. They've been pushed to really, dig deep, find the metal inside, find the kryptonite, right? Dig deep and find that kryptonite and activate it. And they've been pushed to do it because I think oftentimes we will just settle. Why do we settle? Because it's comfortable. It's easy. It feels okay. That's the difference, actually, when you think about it. It feels okay. You know, if you're doing okay, what about doing really, really, really great, right? But, you know, that's what can happen. I was doing okay, like in my 30s, I was doing okay. You know, wasn't great, but it was okay. And my relationship, you know, it was kind of getting worse, you know. And so, long story short, I left that relationship. Very difficult and challenging times, but I actually got to the core of who I am, and I realized, you know what, like, I can do it. You know, I started going for things that I never would have gone for before. Going for jobs that even just a year before I would never have gone for. I remember going for a job as a recruitment consultant. Recruiting is quite funny when you think about it. I was recruiting chief financial officers for, like, you know, big companies, like major companies in Amsterdam, multinational companies. And I was doing like the initial kind of interviewing of those people, and accountants. You know, it was a financial international recruitment consultant, right? I didn't have a background in finance, right? But anyway, I was lucky I got that job. But you know what I realized was, in doing that job and interviewing these accountants and these chief financial officers, I was like, man, you know, these dudes are like, they're kind of like, they're just ordinary people. And then it just demystified that whole financial thing. So when an opportunity came, when Greenpeace International, they actually approached me for a job because I'd answered this tiny little advert in the paper, tiny, massive, big paper, for a secretarial job because I had to get out of what I was doing. And then I got a call from the finance manager, the personnel manager at Greenpeace International, saying, "You've got a really interesting CV, come talk to us." And then they still hadn't got a job description. And then when I told her about my background, and she's like, "You need to apply for this job." And it was for the finance manager of Greenpeace International. And I was like, yeah, I do. I was scared, but I still went for it. A year before, or 18 months before, I'd had an opportunity to apply for a job as a finance manager, and I didn't go for it because I didn't feel I was good enough or I knew enough. And lo and behold, this guy gets the job, and who's doing a lot of the work? It was me. You know, I was feeding him the data, and he had his spreadsheets and everything. But I think what the crux of what I'm saying here, guys, is that we are capable of so much more. And if you are feeling called to do something, if you feel a prompt that there's something more for you out there, maybe you have a sense of what it is, maybe you don't, but it's there, then just listen to that, lean into it, follow it. You know, it could be like you get an intuition to pick up the phone, make a phone call, or send an email to somebody, get the ball rolling. You know, a job advert comes up and you feel pushed to maybe apply for it. Do it. Just see where the journey goes. You know, it's a lot of fun actually to just keep following those intuitive prompts. Really what you're doing is you're leaning into your intuition. You're leaning into your, what I like to say, your spirit. Other people call it higher self, subconscious, spirit, God, creator. There is a higher intelligence that is guiding us through life once we take the time to lean in and listen. And it's that higher intelligence, your eternalness, you as an eternal spiritual being, it's your spirit and soul that's calling you, telling you, hey, you're meant for more. I can guide you. Let me guide you. Let me show you how to get there. And one of the fastest, most effective ways that I've found when working with my clients is to work with your dreams to actually open the lines of communication to your spirit. You know, when you can start to work intentionally with your dreams, you're going to start getting very clear messages. So if you feel lost or confused right now, maybe you don't even know what the thing is, know that you are guided. You are being guided on a daily basis. Your spirit is speaking to you every single day, but it's a question of whether you're listening. Everybody dreams. At night time, our spirit can talk to us far more easily because our conscious mind switched off. And so that's when our spirit gets to play. And so it plays out these wild and crazy movies to us. But don't underestimate what's going on here, because your spirit's talking to you every single night. Every night. And when you can become really intentional around that conversation, then you can start to interpret the messages your spirit's giving you more easily. Because right now, you'll be having those dreams. Know there's a message in there. Your spirit's sharing with you information. It's trying to guide you. But when you can get really intentional and start asking your spirit for guidance, then you're going to start getting very clear messages back. And there's a whole methodology and process through which that you can do this. And I have a free training. I'd really encourage you, if you want to open the lines of communication with your spirit, go to my website and download that free training, because it'll give you the initial 3-step process. It's very simple in many ways to be able to get dialed in, but you need to be intentional. So if you go to my website, www.louise-wilson.com, you can access that free training. I think it's Connect with My Spirit. But go there, you'll find it. It'll show you. Download that. It's totally free, because I just really know the importance of this, of being able to be connected. And once you've gone through the training, there's a Facebook group in there. You can jump in and ask questions. But I'm also excited to say too that I'm actually working on right now a program. It's a group coaching program that where we'll have the opportunity to go even deeper, where I can support you in getting dialed in and connected, understanding those messages, getting comfortable and confident of interpreting the messages coming from your spirit. But very importantly now, as we are in this final quarter of 2020, we're getting ready for 2021. Why not go into 2021 with a plan? Maybe you know what it is. Maybe you have a sense of what your big vision and dream is. And if you don't know, then you can join me in this training that I'm cooking up, getting ready. I can keep you posted with it. Where it's going to help you get absolutely crystal clear on what it is you want to do. What is the thing? What is your passion, your purpose? Where do you want to put your focus in 2021? What do you want to achieve? And then you get to work with your spirit for over 30 days to actually start to put together a plan and get the guidance you need to step into your wonderful, purposeful reality and self. Alrighty folks, just kind of felt really, again, when I do these podcasts, it's and I feel that call. This is what it felt today when I woke up. I just really wanted to share this with you. Don't settle. You don't have to settle for less. You are meant for more. And if you're feeling that call to do more, to be more, then lean in and listen. Follow the guidance, because it will take you on a magical journey. And when you are aligned with your spirit, when you start taking action, which is really super important, stop being in your head about this, take the action. I promise you the doors of opportunity will open for you. And when it gets easy, you're on the right track. If you're struggling going upstream right now, something's a little off. But when you are aligned with your spirit, when you are on track, when you are on purpose, those doors are going to swing wide open for you, my fellow soul traveler. I am so excited for you. Alrighty then. Love you. Sending you a blanket of love and blessings, and bye for now.